This is a place where the legends before us carried on a legacy of winning.
Oh, easy. Pitch out. 40, 35, 30, 20, 50. Touchdown, easy. No flag.
It has always been the passion, determination, and teamwork that makes it who we are.
The give to Diamond Ferry. Gets around the corner. One man to beat. Steps it up. He's gone. They're not going to catch him.
No flag.
Nobody's going to catch him. He's gone for the touchdown.
A commitment to excellence is our way of life.
Pass, and it is intercepted. Who else but Lucas Dennis is there to pick it? And it's a pick six forever. Touchdown. Crimson Tide.
Winning is what we know and what we do.
Hello and welcome to Everett Memorial Stadium and to our first ever high school football pregame show. I'm Michelle Fenelon alongside the voice of EHS Sports, Josh Delgazo. Josh, finally, we are back. Football is back in Everett and it's in April. How did we get here?
Well, Michelle, I mean, let's face it. We definitely face something that the world hasn't seen in over 100 years with the pandemic, but we're not going to jump down that road. We're all well-versed on that, but hey, we got some spring football going on. I don't hate it. Got a little bit of wind because, you know, we're right next door to the Atlantic Ocean, but we're in 55-degree territory right now. I know sometimes you get that in early September, but I'll take a little April action to get the juices flowing. So place is ready to rock down here at Everett Stadium on Route 16, and we're looking for a big-time action, big-time show, and happy to bring it to you.
I'm not going to lie, it's spring, but it does feel like fall football. Coming up, we will hear from new head coach Rob DiLoreto. We'll talk about the quarterback situation and what to expect from Everett High this season. Tonight, Everett High faces a Lynn English team who makes its debut in the Greater Boston League. But the biggest debut of the night is new head coach Rob DiLoreto. Josh, you've talked to Coach. You know about Coach. What does he bring to this program?
So Rob is a guy who his roots are here in this city. He grew up here. He went to school here. He spent time on Coach DiBiaso's staff. The legend as we know it needs no introduction there. So obviously he's well versed with this program. The seniors currently were freshmen when Coach DiLoreto was on the staff. So he's been able to have an interaction and introduce himself with these kids. And he's looking forward to now taking over the reins. I know he's very excited. He's a man that runs his programs very strong. He's very disciplined, and he creates a family-first atmosphere. You can see the kids are excited, and when the kids are excited, good things happen. So Coach DiLoreto, a lot to look forward to as he returns here home, back to the Tide after many years spent in Arlington. So he's done a great job, and he's looking to rise up with the Tide here and now.
He's inheriting one of the best programs in the state, 12 Division I Super Bowl titles in the past 25 years. Who are some of those special players he'll get the opportunity to coach this season?
Well, to me, the list starts right off with Tyrese Baptiste. He's a senior. He's pretty much just about a four-year starter, three-year starter, big time on the field. He's been here for about 4 years now, and he's been doing an excellent job. He's a two-way player that makes a lot happen, and he can impact the game in a number of ways. A Swiss Army knife, if you will. So Tyrese Baptiste is one of just many. You have Sammy Lamoth, who can make an impact. He's a big-time defensive player. We'll talk about maybe a wrinkle where he's involved. I'll let you lean into that. How about anchoring the defensive side of the ball, Josiah Stewart, a wrecking ball at defensive end. He can make a lot of things happen. Two-way threat, 6'4", 250 pounds. Jalen Murphy's the bookend there. I feel like I could go on and on down the list, but these guys can make a lot happen. But it starts with Tyrese Baptiste. Big-time player, Baptiste can make it happen.
Josh, you hinted to it a little bit. One of the best kept secrets in all of Massachusetts high school football sports this season has been, who's the quarterback for this Everett football team? Now that it's game time, who's starting tonight?
So, as we found out, sounds like Sammy Lamoth will be taking the reins as the Crimson Tide quarterback. I kind of led to it, hopefully not a little too soon. We talked about the wrinkle of Sammy Lamoth and the impact he's made defensively. But watch for number 5, taking his time under center. This is a guy that can get it done. Now, we all know about his athletic ability, but I've been looking at those scrimmages. He navigates the ball very well downfield. He throws off the play action. He knows where to find his receivers. And if there's any type of crowd back there in the secondary and the pressure gets hot, Sammy can tuck it and run. He can make a lot of things happen with his feet. And more importantly, he's a big-time leader. He is headlining that locker room, and the guys follow his lead. And look for Sammy Lamoth to impact the game big time from quarterback position.
Let's talk about this a little more. This is a player who played running back. He played on the defensive side of the ball. He's never played quarterback in his entire football career. Now he's starting quarterback this season. When you think about old Everett, that old offense, you think about running the ball. DiLoreto, as we mentioned, he's not new to this program. How much do you expect to see that old Everett offense with Sammy Lamoth back there now?
I think you're going to see a lot of it, Michelle. That's a great point, because here's a guy that can do both. And you talk about what kind of a special kid that Sammy is to take over that role. I mean, he's able to just inject himself without playing the position, and he looks like a seasoned vet back there. But that's kind of the things you talk about. He'll be able to navigate the running game. He'll be able to throw the ball down the field. He can read from receiver, check down, and take off. I mean, here's a guy that knows where to find his blitzers, where to see the guys are coming at the line of scrimmage, and I think Lamoth is going to give you some versatility back there, along with a threat in the vertical passing game that's going to surprise a lot of opposing teams, but it's going to come to no surprise to Coach DiLoreto and his Crimson Tide teammates. That's why a guy like Sammy Lamoth, he can enter his first year as quarterback and look like he's done it his whole life. This could be the position he's been waiting on.
Josh, when you talk about Everett football, we're used to seeing them dominate teams, especially in the GBL. This season is different. You know, it's a pandemic season, new head coach, new quarterback. Realistically, what can we expect from this Crimson Tide team this year?
Well, it's kind of a loaded question there, Michelle. I mean, what you can expect is, the talent will be ready to go. But certainly, I mean, it's been about, 17 months since action has taken place here. So a little bit of an open chessboard, if you will. I think what you can expect is a team that's going to battle on every play, every down. I think they're going to come ready to go. I think they have still a ton of athletes that can make it happen in space. I would say if there's a big question mark, it would probably be on the offensive line. Last fall, 2019, the last time they played, that was kind of a senior-laden unit. So obviously, anytime you lose a big chunk of your offensive line, it's going to leave some question marks as to who's going to be filling that. But if we're talking about some of your athletes in space and some of your hard hitters on defense, there's a lot to like here. And there's definitely a lot to be concerned about if you're on the other side. So let's see how that offensive line comes together. Otherwise, again, the expectation here in Everett, nothing short of premium, hot, primetime football. And I think that's what you're looking for the Crimson Tide to bring. And I know the fans here are looking for the Tide to rise.
Of course, we expect to continue that winning tradition here. Now that we know about Everett and what to expect from Everett, what can we expect from their opponent, Lynn English?
So you're going to have a Lynn English Bulldogs team coming in. Everyone knows the Bulldogs for their basketball program, but let us not forget it's a factory over there, big-time sports program. They have their head coach, Chris Carroll, who's going into his 6th season. He's done a really good job leading that program, and he has a quarterback, Jesse Maggs. He's 6'2", 210 pounds, strong arm, pocket passer, and he's had some success leading this Lynn English offense. Now, again, we kind of talk about it with Everett. Same thing with Lynn English, kind of an open chessboard. So I would expect the Bulldogs to come out firing the football, using Jesse Maggs' arm strength and being able to navigate down the field. They were dealt a blow. They have one of their top players, Taj Porter, is out with a season-ending injury, and that's definitely a little bit of a blow to what they want to do. But look for Anthony Timmons. He's a running back linebacker. He's going to anchor both sides of the ball there, and they have a great offensive line with senior leadership. So the Lynn English Bulldogs, to open up your season, you're going to have to be ready to go. A lot of talent there, and it would make for nothing more for their season to be made than coming into Everett and disrupting the season opener. So Tide, going to have to be ready to roll tonight.
Absolutely. That's everyone's goal when they come here. But DiLoreto said it to us best. Both teams are kind of like on equal playing fields because they haven't played in so long. They both started working out on the field in April. We are moments away from Everett High taking the field for their season opener. But first, let's take a listen to what head coach Rob DiLoreto had to say ahead of tonight's season opener. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations. I know you heard it so much in the past couple of months. What emotions are you experiencing as you get ready to coach your first game?
Yeah, tremendous amount of emotions. So proud of the players who have committed themselves to dedicating so much time and effort to get ready for this Fall 2 season. And on a personal note, I'm extremely proud and honored to be able to coach the Everett Crimson Tide in our first game tomorrow night of this abbreviated 2021 season.
You're inheriting a program that has a winning tradition, a lot of culture. You know this because you played and you coached here. How much pressure are you putting on yourself to continue that winning tradition?
Well, I put a tremendous amount of pressure on myself. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure that comes with the job. I'm trying to balance it and keep it fun and realize that the kids right now, this playing football is such an outlet for them, and it's allowed us to come together as a family, and it's allowed the kids to bond in person, which they haven't been able to do at school because of remote learning. So it's been going really good.
You mentioned the kids and you mentioned bonding, which I think is very important. And for you specifically, how tough was it to develop that chemistry with your players, knowing that you're a new head coach and it's a different season?
Yeah, so I knew a lot of the players because I've coached here for 2 years previously, and we worked out together over the summer. So I felt like we had a good foundation of a relationship, and I've just tried to be myself. I've tried not to be anybody else. To thine own self be true. Just be who I am and try to establish relationships and earn trust of the kids. And so far, I feel like we've taken a lot of positive steps in the right direction.
I know you said you wanted to keep it fun for these players. For the seniors specifically, what is it do you want for them this season?
I want them to be able to, in 20 years, look back and say, during a pandemic, we were able to put together a football season like none other. We've had to adapt on a daily basis. We've had to not be able to use locker rooms. We've had to stay socially distant. We've had to wear masks. And through all that, it's still just football, and it's an activity that we just stressed with them to have fun and to just be with each other. And this should be a time for them to let go of any problems they have, a time to de-stress, a time to just be kids and have fun. And it's sad that we have to use the word stress so much nowadays. But I think that's one thing about the pandemic that's let us all understand is that kids and adults alike need time and places for outlets. And let's hope that this is one of the real positive parts of our players' lives.
Shifting over to game time, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge on the football field this season?
Playing disciplined and sharp football. The kids had a gap of 16 months. So no team in the GBL has had a chance to get together at all. We just had footballs put on the field on April 1st. And so 16 months of not being able to do sports-specific drills has an impact on your performance. So we have to keep it simple, keep it basic, and stay disciplined. I think that's a big key to this. And stay positive, because it's not going to be smooth sailing every rep.
Looking over to Lynn English, what do you know about this football team?
Well, they haven't played in a long time either. I know they're very well coached, and I know what they've done in the past, in 2019. So we tried to put a game plan together based on their tendencies from their last season. But truth be told, tomorrow's a game where neither coach and neither team really knows what the other team's going to do because we don't have any film on each other, which in a way makes it fun.
My last question, I think one of the best kept secrets in all of Massachusetts high school football has been your quarterback situation.
Yeah.
So come game time, who's starting quarterback?
So Sammy Lamothe is going to start. He's a senior. He's a leader. And he's earned the spot. And he's never played football in his life at quarterback, at the position of quarterback. And but we feel like he's going to do a great job. We're excited to see him perform tomorrow night.
I know I said this is my last question. This is my last question now. Why Sammy?
He's a leader. And his skill set at the position has improved immensely since April 1st. And the team's rallied around him, and I think he's the best at the position. Gives us the best chance to win tomorrow night.
Coach, thank you so much for taking
You're
the time
welcome.
to speak to
All
us.
right.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Josh, I know I said it before, but I have to say it again. Football is back. What's your prediction for tonight?
Well, I tell you what, again, sometimes it's hard to figure what's going to take place when it's been a little over 15, 16, 17 months since we've last played. But of course, I know I wear my emotions on a sleeve here. I'm going to go Crimson Tide in this one, but I expect a hard-fought, close battle. I'm going to go Crimson Tide 28-21. That's right. I think the Bulldogs are coming ready to play tonight. They're going to be ready to show that they're here in the GBL. They got something more than just basketball over there in Lynn English. And I know that those players, those Bulldogs will be ready to go. But in the end, I think the Tide will be riding high tonight. And I expect the Crimson Tide 28-21.
Thank you, Josh. And thank you for watching our high school football pregame show. I'm Michelle Fenelon. This is the one and only, the legend, Josh Delgazo. Everett vs. Lynn English coming your way next.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Everett Memorial Stadium. It's good to be back. I'm John Hoffman. He's Paul Allerin. Paul, it's great to be able to do something and get the players out in the field. It's a very abbreviated season, but it's something that everybody is really excited about and didn't think would happen, but it finally did. And the players are excited, but the officials are excited too because they can get out there and do some work.
Well, we waited 482 days, John. That's how long it's been since Everett beat Masconomet 41-7 on Thanksgiving Day 2019. It is a new regime here. Rob DiLoreto, who has experience here formerly as an assistant coach, takes over, and we are going to see Sammy Lamoth step in at quarterback with Duke Doherty having moved over to Winthrop. So a lot of change, but as you said, John, it's good to be out here, albeit in April, for football.
English kicked it off. It bounced off a lineman. It looks like English recovered it. I don't think that was intentional.
I was going to
try to kick a line drive. But English gets a huge break at the Everett 48-yard line. There was a pile of players. It just went off
Here's
the
the
lineman
replay.
up front.
Now, we caught the end of it, John, so I mean, it didn't appear as if it was intentional, but we just caught the end of the replay. But English recovers, and Jesse Maggs will lead them out at quarterback.
Yeah, he played off and on last year, or the last time they played. He came in toward the end of the season, took over the job. They moved the other quarterback to a wide out, and he had a pretty good year. I watched him. Obviously, you and I are both from Lynn. I've watched him at the Meadow working out with his players.
Oh. Angelo Person ran into a person.
Yeah, he lost a yard.
He stopped immediately by number 80, Marcus Scott.
Have a small gathering here, John. We know a lot of people are watching on live stream, we believe.
Maggs looking to throw. They throw it underneath. Nice cut, nice play. Joshua McDonald.
Number 12, Jesse Maggs.
Well-designed play there by the Bulldogs, John. Just a quick out. We've seen teams do this with Everett because you're not going to have a lot of time in the pocket. Maggs throws it off his right foot. Hauled in by Josh McDonald, and they are going to be down to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, actually it's a 36.
The 36.
They picked up 17. And they get the first down. We got a flag coming from way downfield. The official, the deep center field official threw a flag on the play. Against Everett.
I think this is one that was after the play as well, John.
Yeah, they picked up to the 33.
Now, that's going to be something to watch, John. We have seen over the last 2 years they played, there was a pretty decent lack of discipline when it came to those type of penalties. So we certainly expect that'll be cleaned up. But English is down inside the 20.
Yeah, they're down at the 17-yard line. They run straight ahead. Started to the left, cut it straight to the goal post.
Brandon Gibbs on the tackle.
And Angelo Person gets it inside the 5. English going very quickly. They put it at the 3.
Certainly not
at the 4. At the 4. Another first down. They go straight ahead. They pile it up.
I believe that was Maggs on the keeper.
Yep.
So this is not how Rob DiLoreto dreamed about this beginning.
I don't think so. They're down to the 2. Seventh play of the drive coming up. They go to the double wing. They pitch it, trying to run it off the right side. Everett stacks it up.
Nice job by the defense there, John. We saw Said Moses in on the tackle along with Moses Said, pardon me, along with Jalen Murphy.
They put it back at the 2 for no gain. So 3rd and goal. They stay in that double wing. Maggs with the quarterback sneak, piling it up. Now we get the signal. He's in for the touchdown.
Boy, that's a good drive by the Bulldogs. So English, you know, you come into a game presumably as an underdog, John, you need breaks, but when you get them, you have to take advantage, and English recovered that opening kickoff that Everett could not handle, and they do take advantage, and they go 7 plays, 48 yards, and they are on the board first.
Yeah, actually went 52 yards, Paul. They got that kick at their own 48. So very quickly, English gets on the board. Just shy of 3 minutes. And they'll go for 2. They send wideouts way out to either side. And they double up in between to the near side. Maggs looking to throw. Not going to get it off. Gets piled up. And he'll settle for the 6.
Hey, do you guys mind if I just kick this end out 6 inches? Just so I can stand up next to the thing. Is that cool? Thank you.
So Everett looked like they were going to get the ball first, John. That was the plan.
Yeah.
They technically never possessed it. It hit one of them for about a second, and English has got to be pleased with that drive.
Well, they got the break, and they took advantage of it. And, you know, I mentioned I've been watching Jesse Maggs and some of those receivers working out at the Lynn Meadow for quite a while. I'm sure Everett's been doing the same thing, and it's just good. The difference now, Paul, is that everything is falling into play at the same time. Like English and Classical are now playing football and soccer in Lynn. Tech and St. Mary's played football and basketball, and English was playing basketball while Tech was playing everything else, and English was playing hockey.
Yeah, well, the GBL, which English is now a part of, and Everett, of course, has been a long-time member of, is just about a month behind everyone else. So most teams are playing their last football game this weekend.
Yeah. At the 30-yard line, slips a couple of tackles, stays on his feet. We got a flag coming in.
That was Ramar Robinson.
And I think it's going to be against Everett again. A big penalty against Everett cost him dearly on that initial drive. They got it to the 38, and it's going to be against Everett.
Robinson does a good job. Looked like he was going to be tripped up there, and that was a block in the side.
Yeah, he wouldn't have gone a little bit further. They just got a piece and knocked him off balance a little bit. But they move it down to the 23. So Everett will have it for the first time. Pinned it to 23.
First down and 10 for the Crimson Tide.
2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side as they go to the spread. Motion, they hand it off, coming to the near side, staying on his feet, getting to the 30, maybe the 31. Or more, English is saying they got the football. I don't think they're giving it to him. They give him the 31.
Tyrese Baptiste, John. That's a familiar.
That's for sure.
Familiar name. when we last played. You'll hear me say that a lot. He rushed for 379 yards and 5 touchdowns in the 2019 season.
He picked up just about 8, second, and a long 2. If it works to the left, let's run it to the right. Slipping a tackle, getting out, getting a first down.
Number 3, Ishmael Zamora.
Ishmael Zamora, we remember him as well, too.
That's good for a Crimson
We've
Tide
seen him
touchdown.
mainly as a receiver, John, but we know he can run it, too, and you're going to see him run the ball.
He picked up 10 to
He
the
had
41.
24 catches for 361 yards and 2 touchdowns in 2019.
He gets Everett their first down of the abbreviated season. Picked up 10 on the play.
I think you're going to see him try to get the ball in his hands a number of ways, John, which seems like a good strategy.
I would think so. Again, 2 wideouts to the near side, motion. They fake it, they run it straight ahead with the fullback. And they're going to get a couple.
Number 4, Jaden Cuervo, the ball carrier.
Jaden J.C. Cuervo carries the ball.
Picked up a couple.
He was the leading rusher in the 2019 season, 90 carries, 722 yards.
Second down and 8.
Second and 8 from their own 43. Again, the wideout's the same. Motion again, faking it, looking to throw over the middle, tip, almost caught, almost intercepted.
Well, Sammy Lamoth deserved better for his first pass attempt because that ball could have been caught, and luckily for Everett,
I don't know who that was because they don't have an 18 on their roster.
Zamora also got some time at quarterback in 2019, completing 21 of 28 passes. So
They just lost 2 yards on the incompleted pass when they put the ball back.
it's 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8, they got the ball at the 41. They should be now. They've realized what they did. It's also the first game for the officials.
They had 2 yards the first play.
3rd down and 8.
3rd and 8. They double the wideouts to either side.
This is an important play, John.
Absolutely. Intercepted.
Yeah, nice job jumping the pattern there from Lynn
DJ
English.
Brathwaite. That's a name that's been very important for English over the last couple of years. They'll have good field position again at their 46.
So Everett turning it over twice here in the first quarter.
Yeah, English took advantage of the first one. They're going to try and take advantage of the second one. Maggs brings the play back to the huddle. Motion coming, now motion back. They run it straight ahead.
Angelo Person, the ball carrier.
Person again.
Brought down by number 12, Juan Ariave.
They give him a yard to the 47. Paul, this English team could have been a lot better. The 2 Fury boys. One is a very good receiver for St. Charles Prep now. The other one went to prep school. They were both eligible to come back. Decided not to. One of their receivers went to prep school. They try to run it straight ahead again, not much. They give him nothing. Back to the 47.
Number 52, Jaden Biggie.
So it'll be 3rd down and 9.
3rd down and 9.
They gave him about a foot. When they snap it, we'll be just about at the halfway mark of this first period. Double wideouts to either side. Maggs looking to throw. The quick out. Tip. Oh! Almost picked off, and the tip was almost caught.
Pass is incomplete. Broken up by number 10.
I'll tell you what, John, if that is caught, it's 6 points.
I know. Moses Sade.
Take a look at the replay. Here's Maggs' pass out into the flat. Two guys go up to deflect it, and unfortunately it's going to land just before Everett's number 12, Juan Arroyav, can get there.
Yeah, it was tipped first by Shade. He almost picked it outright. So English doesn't take advantage. This time it'll be Mags kicking it away.
Yeah, punting is the right thing to do here, John.
Oh, no question. High snap. They just got it away. There's a flag on the play.
I think they ran into the kicker.
The referee back upfield is... No, it looks like it's illegal procedure against English. They were bouncing around at the line of scrimmage trying to get people where they should be.
I would make them kick it again.
Yeah, I would too. They're not going to... I'm surprised they're not going to make him kick it again.
They can tack 5 yards on. No, they're going to tack 5 onto the return.
I'd still make them kick it again. The ball's at the 28.
First down and 10 for the Crimson Tide at their own 28-yard line. I would say they don't have the option.
They were going to snap the ball. The official had gone back upfield to get his flag, so they step in and wait. Now they'll come back to it. They run it off the right side. Good head of steam. Gets grabbed and pulled down in English territory.
Jaden Cuervo, the ball carrier. He picks up enough for a Crimson Tide first down.
Jaden Cuervo, breakaway threat.
For Joshua McDonald on the tackle.
Cuervo is going to get the handoff, makes a good juke to the right. Now he cuts it upfield quickly, breaks the tackle there, and he gets all the way over the 50 to the English 47.
Yeah, he picked up 15 in the first down. They run it to the right again.
He's big. Cuervo, the ball carrier. He's tackled by number 44, Kevin Pena.
He picked up 5.
5-yard gain on the play. Second down.
2nd and 5.
At the end of the quarter, John, we're going to give you a chance to see if you can get a trivia question right. See if Freddie Merchant and his boys that are watching on the live stream might know the answer too. We'll just a little tease there.
Quarterback keep bouncing it to the outside, slips a couple of tackles. Nice job. Gets inside the 25.
Number 5, Sammy Lamont, the ball
We expect that Sammy will be a double threat back there, John. And you showed his running ability there. Take a look, direct snap. This is a design run all the way. That's the key. If he breaks the 2 tackles at the line of scrimmage, now he's going to pick up a little bit of a block from number 11, Tyrese Baptiste, and now he's all the way down inside the 25 at the 24.
Yeah, 18 yards. It looked like he was going to get 3 or 4. He wound up getting 18. Off the right side, cuts it back to the middle. Gets inside the 15 to about the 12.
Tackled by number 10, Shea Palmer.
Cuervo showing off his speed and strength.
That's good for another Crimson Tide first down.
They put it at the 13. He picked up 11. So 3 first downs in 4 plays. Off the right side again. Gets inside the 10. And that's Baptiste. They put it at the 9. So he picked up 4. Everett trying to match the English touchdown that they got on their opening drive after picking up a turnover. Coming to the near side, cutting it inside, walking in.
Crimson Tide, number 3, Ishmael Zamol.
We mentioned him a couple of times.
Yeah, they made it look easy, John. And there's a guy that if he gets in space, he's going to be very, very difficult to catch. You'll take a look here at the he's going to come in motion. He comes in motion. They're going to hand the ball off to him. Huge hole on the left side, untouched.
72 yards in 6 plays. I guess they should have made him kick it over again.
Yeah.
That was 2 untouched. They didn't have.
No, that's for sure.
Looks like Kevin Ruiz lining up to kick.
Yep. This has always been a strong point for Everett.
Kevin was 5 for 6 on PATs in the 2019 season.
I think he's grown a bit. And he hit the goalpost. I was about to say that was perfect.
The extra point is no good. And with 3:05 left in the first quarter, this game is tied at 6.
So we've got just 5 ticks over 3 minutes left in the first period, and it's 6-6.
Well, that's a big turn of events for Everett, John. They come up with the stop after the turnover, and then they drive down the field 72 yards. So you see the cheerleaders with a chance to celebrate. As we say, we have a smattering of fans here. I think it was 2 per player is about the protocol. So we inching back to being able to live like humans.
Yeah, eventually, hopefully, we'll get back to some kind of normalcy if we can remember what it was when we were normal. I'm not sure we were ever normal, but hopefully we can get back to whatever that was. But it's just good to see watching the soccer, the hockey. Now we're getting in. Lynn teams are getting into baseball and
Spring
softball.
sports start Monday, practice.
Yeah, yep. And, it's good to see the kids getting out, getting work, and getting. It was fun. I talked to some of the basketball officials that you guys know very well, and they were happy to get back to work, and I'm sure these guys.
Yeah, it was. I got to tell you, John, it was a long and challenging basketball season, but it really worked out well, and it would have been a huge mistake not to do it. So
Yeah.
hats off to the players, coaches, officials, administrators, parents, everyone who really kind of came together.
Well, I guess.
It was different,
These kids are going to play 4 football games.
Yeah.
St. Mary's girls basketball played 23 games.
They played a regular season. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that was
that's-
incredible.
Jeff Newhall is he's a hustler, as you
Well,
I don't have to tell you.
That's for sure.
He's not afraid to work, and he just, there was no restriction this year. Typically when the season starts, your schedule's in. This year, all bets are off. So
Oh,
you
God,
would call
yeah, yeah.
Look at St. Mary's football is playing at Somerset Berkeley tomorrow. It's the 3rd opponent for this week. They were supposed to play Austin Prep. Austin Prep went into COVID protocol. He picked up Diamond Regional, a Vogue school down in New Bedford. Found out last night they're in COVID protocol and went and got Somerset Berkeley. So it's the ADs have really had to be flexible this year and doing a good job.
Well, some of it has really been wacky ball because in some instances you couldn't find many teams to play. Like in the GBL basketball, you only had GBL playing basketball.
Well,
Nobody else was
right.
playing.
Everyone else is playing. right.
Everybody
That's,
else is playing other sports. So it wasn't like, Lynn Tech was lucky to get Boston English to play them the other night. Kick back at the 7-yard line. And Everett covers it very well. The English are going to have a long way to go.
Great coverage. Gavin Moran-Leal with the tackle.
He's brought down by number 27, Gavin Moran-Leal.
Take a look at the replay. This is a person going to his left, looking for a hole that does not materialize.
At the 16-yard line is where they put it down.
18, 17?
So now English has to be very careful with the football.
2:56 remaining in the opener. Yep. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see them throwing it all over the lot quite yet.
I don't think so. They put double wideouts to either side, but I'd be surprised if they threw it. The delay is they had to change footballs. They were going to use Everett's football. English doesn't want to do that.
God forbid.
Motion to the near side. They run it to the far side. First thing gets their head of steam up. And gets about 6.
Person, the ball carrier.
Yeah, they're doing a good job on the
Brought down
ground,
by
John.
number 11, Tyrese Baptiste.
Gives them a little more breathing room as well.
They put it at the 23. He got 7.
Second down and 4.
Yeah, it gives them a little breathing room.
I'm not always correct. No, but I feel like the visual and the voice. These guys have been really good. Yeah, no, he is. Offense good.
Again, motion to the near side. They run it straight ahead. They're going to get a first down.
Yeah, that's enough for the first down.
Brandon Gibbs on the tackle. That's good for a Bulldogs.
Brandon Gibbs with the tackle, but pickup of 5.
They put it at, we'll call it the 28.
Yeah, when the ball's touching the 28, that's typically what you call it.
It wasn't, though. It's
typically,
not
it's a good thing to call it.
It's
really.
not touching
really
the 28.
Very, very astute of you.
It's the first game we're already getting into this.
Because, like, if you called it the 24, that wouldn't be correct.
I couldn't stand you last year, and now I got to do another
Well, you had
year with you.
482 days without me. I know. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. I understand.
Pass complete to Darian Arias. That's good for another Bulldogs first down.
Out to the 49. They picked up 21 yards on the first down. Mags put that right on the money. High snap. He's going to get caught in the backfield.
Yeah.
They're lucky they still have the football. That was way over his head. Tipped it. He had to grab it, and Everett just knocked him down.
Along with number 52,
Yeah, that's one of those, John, you just kind of take your medicine, take the loss, and live to see another play. We are approaching a minute, 1:12 and counting.
Plays like that are why coaches get gray hair.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was Mags went up and got that one.
3 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Now they go motion. The motion comes back. Mags rolling, looking. He's going to get hit again. They're going to lose another yard to the 45.
Quarterback sacked on the play.
They had some time originally, John, but we've seen this year after year with the Everett defensive line that the pocket collapses quickly.
That's the end of the first period.
It comes at a good time for English because they got a 3rd and long. It'll give them some time to think about it. Well, actually, there's 25 on the play clock, John. I don't know. I mean, on the game clock. I don't know what the play clock's at.
No, he raised his hand, said the period's over, but now they're going back. They're going to run one more play.
They're going to call timeout is what they're going to do
Yeah,
because
they
they have
should-
the wind with them right now.
They should never doubt our clock operator.
They have the wind.
Never doubt our clock operator.
They have the wind with them.
They didn't stop it on the field, so.
Straight flag. We got a flag.
Can you check the headsets?
It's not sealed. Flag pulling right straight across.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 14.
I hope I didn't screw up. Their lights are on. It might be their volume.
6-6 to score. English got on the board first, getting a turnover. A big penalty helped them on the drive. Everett got it back and methodically went 72 yards in 6 plays.
So I don't know.
We'll get you on the podcast. You see
Yeah.
All on the ground. So the beat goes on both sidelines. Offensively for English, defensively for Everett.
This is a big play, John, because
Yep.
English has got a little drive going here, and approaching midfield. Everett obviously would like to force a punt.
Yeah, they were very happy they made that big pass play to get out of trouble and get out of their own end. And it looked like they had a little momentum going, and then all of a sudden a bad snap, and then Everett got to Mags the second time and knocked them back. So now a big 3rd and 14 as they double up the wideouts on either side. Mags dropping back, lets it fly. He's got a man open. It won't be enough for a first down, but
if they tackle him,
let's see if English tries it here, Paul. It's going to be 4th and
Well,
a couple.
yeah, now you're in 4-down territory, I think.
They put it at the 43.
It's going to be just short.
That's the end of the first quarter, and this game is tied. Everett 6, Lynn English 6.
So it's going to be 4th down and a long, about 3.
There's Maggs' pass caught out in the flat. Good job by Everett keeping him short of the first down.
Yeah, try to fight for a little extra yardage to maybe get the first down, but they've got time to talk about it because it's the end of the first period officially now. So both teams can talk about what they're going to do. We're tied at 6 in the opening of the GBL League, the abbreviated season. Paul, it won't be very long. It'll be a month or two. We'll be right back here when they start the regular season.
It will be short. So we talked, John, as you mentioned, this is an abbreviated 4-game season. Now, Everett's been playing football, as you know, since 1892. Do you happen to know when the last time they played as few as 4 games in a season?
1893.
Very close, 1894.
I didn't want to go over.
3 of the games were intra-squad games. They split the team up, and they called one Harvard and one Yale. And the 4th was a Thanksgiving Day game with the Everett High School team versus the Everett E Club, John. So
I'll take your word for it.
Freddie Merchant right now is running for Arnie Boardman's book to see if I'm right. That's where I got it, Fred. Don't worry about it.
Well, Fred, I think the first thing you do is tell Paul to get a life.
Right.
Paul prepares. It's COVID, non-COVID, off-season, April, and Paul is prepared. Okay, you should try it. It's pretty good.
Is that what you call it, prepared?
Well, that's
not what.
a lot of people didn't know that.
That's not what
people
Mooner
who are
and
watching,
I and Freddie Merchant and
people
people.
who
That's
are
not what we call
watching
it.
are being educated.
You know, we call it idiotic. A little too much information.
I would say this is the right call.
Yeah, they're going for it. They need 3. And now they need a little more because the guy in the backfield
Now
moved.
they can punt.
Now they can kick it away. Now they have to kick it away. So all that, go to the sideline, you have long conversations. What do we want to do? How do we want to stop them? How do we want to make the first down? All that action, interaction. They're going to go for it again. And that pass was, Brathwaite got hung up and didn't get down there. Maggs got knocked down.
And Maggs, I was going to say, Maggs paid the price for a pass that wasn't completed.
Yeah, he didn't see that it was incomplete because he was on his back.
So good job by the Tide defense again, though, holding.
Well, they get very good field position to start the second period for their first possession.
Jalen Murphy also went on the pressure. Those are 2 pretty good bookends.
Yeah, he did.
They fake.
No one's open.
Now they throw it deep.
Boy,
He
Zamora
took it
is
away.
good. Yeah, Zamora is really
Zamora
good.
again.
Pass is complete to number 3, Ishmael Zamora.
Yeah, he was covered. He just ran away from the coverage, John. And great job by Lamoth being patient, and great job by the O-line. Look at all the time Lamoth has. He rolls to his left, and you're just going to see Zamora was covered. He just ran away from the coverage. The ball is underthrown a little. He goes back, and as you said, John, he just won the jump ball.
29 yards and a first down. He just said, I'll take this right now. Get out of my way. Running to the near side. Slips inside, tackle, and looked like he might get a yard or 2. He gets down to the 13.
That's good for another Crimson Tide first down.
Actually, they give him the 12 for a first down. So back-to-back first downs.
Fumble. Nice job.
Cuervo saved it a little bit there.
Score 1 for artificial turf. It kind of bounced straight up.
A very fortuitous bounce. They lost a yard.
Second down.
The ball's back at, no, right at the 12. He got back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10 as they send double wideouts to the near side, one to the far side. The wing is to the far side. The handoff, cutting to the outside, looking for the corner. Just got hit.
Tyrese Baptiste, the ball carrier.
He looked like he was going in.
On the tackle.
So 1st and goal.
No, I don't think he did get the first down, John, did he? They haven't moved the
No,
chains.
they didn't move the chain. He got 9. They've got the ball at
Should be
the
about
3.
the 3.
It's at the 3.
Yeah.
3rd down and short.
Well,
He looked like he was going in. Everett goes to the double wing. To the right side. They walk in.
good luck. Good luck when he gets ahead of steam.
Number 4, Jaden Cuervo.
Cuervo is a BB, big boy.
Wow.
So good drive by the Tide, 51 yards.
So it's 12-6.
So Everett doing it on the ground. They did have the one long pass on that drive on the first play. Sammy Lamoth to Ish Zamora. Otherwise, run, touchdown.
Well, they went 72. Now they go 78. They go back to the double wing. They hand it off again. And he runs it in. Standing up, he runs it in.
By number 11, Tyrese Baptiste.
Baptiste.
With 9:29 left in the second quarter. The score is
So a slow start.
in English, 6.
Don't worry, Rob DiLoreto. Everything's fine. He wasn't panicking, John. He looks calm.
That's for sure. So they can get the kick it upright with the first one. So they go for 2 and make up for that. It's now 14-6.
And now you come to what kind of an important series for English because you don't,
Yep.
you don't want to dig too much of a hole here.
Well, you can't give it right back. You have to at least make a little bit of effort, pick up a couple of first downs. If you are going to punt, you have to use some time off the clock before you give it back. Ruiz will use that right foot again, kicking off.
It's a big foot.
It's funny, Paul, when everybody was back in the GBL, they moved over to the Northeastern Conference. Everybody came in. It was everybody except Everett football. And then when they finally got together and said, we're going to accept everybody in Everett football too, the next minute they voted everybody out.
Yeah. English and English Classical came with them.
Yeah, and now English and Classical comes back.
Good kick.
At about the 10-yard line to about the 30. Pretty good return.
Very good return. Arias Darian.
Tackle on the play by number 27, Gavin Moran-Leal.
So right at the 30 will be 1st and 10 as we've got just over 9 minutes.
Look, Carroll has wheels, John. Look at her, coming right in your screen. Right in your screen. On
Yes,
wheels.
she is. Her loved one, Bippy Manuel, was the first guy I did play-by-play with games for Everett when we first started a few years ago. High snap again to Mags. And they almost botched that. Instead, they run for a first down.
Yeah, first carry for Kevin Pena, and he makes it a good one. All the way up to the 43, 13.
21, Tyler Davis on the tackle. That's good for a Bulldogs first down.
So both offensive lines have been opening up some holes for their running backs. 3 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Mags looking to throw. Throws it long and deep, and that was to one of the cheerleaders on the sideline. Looking for Brathwaite.
Smushed. He's a big quarterback, though. He took it in stride.
Pass is incomplete.
JC, the first game.
Josiah Stewart on the pressure.
Collarbone.
2nd and 10 from the 43.
Second game, this senior.
Everett leading it 14-6.
He had a lot of injuries.
Not quite halfway through this second period. Now they double the wideouts to either side. Motion to the near side. Fullback again gets ahead of steam up. Gets to about the 48.
It's a good thing Lamoth hung on. Lamoth was hanging on to Pena's foot for dear life and prevented him from breaking away.
He's a load to bring down, I'll tell you that.
Take a look. The straight handoff to Pena, and there he is. There's Lamoth. Oh, he's holding on to his pant leg, his foot, his sock.
And now here he comes again. Boy. Now, here we come. We're going to run straight ahead and see if you can stop us.
And they haven't on this drive, certainly.
That's good for another Bulldogs first down.
They put it at the 37. 15 yards and a first down. Boy, he gets ahead of steam up. Get the number of that truck. They switch around a little bit. They tighten up the wideouts on the near side. Looking to throw. The quick out. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Brathwaite, the intended.
Brathwaite again, they were looking to catch up with.
Yeah, it is windy. The flag's across the
Yeah, I'm looking across the way. The trees are blowing, the flags are blowing. Not an easy day to throw the football. Here comes the fullback again. He's got a head of steam up. Boy.
Pena, the ball carrier.
English has found a home.
On the tackle. That's good for another Bulldogs first down.
To the 24-yard line. He picked up another 13. He's piling up yardage on this drive.
Yeah, this is a much-needed timeout by the Tide, John.
Yep, I would say so. 7:11 left.
3 double-digit runs for English on this drive, all by Pena, 13, 15, and 13.
Yeah. English tried to answer back that touchdown that answered the drive by Everett on their first possession here in this second period.
Good crowd on the other side.
Yeah, there's a few Lynners over on the other side.
Everyone wants to get out of the house.
Oh, we'll be back on our own stomping grounds next week when Everett right back at take on Lynn Classical. They play English and Classical back to back, but they'll be at Manning next week.
I know how to get there.
I'll save you a parking space.
It's Kentucky Oaks Day, John. I might be right around kickoff.
Oh, Kentucky Oaks. What is that? Soccer?
It's the female
hockey,
version of the Derby. The
basketball. What sport is that?
It's sport of kings, although the race is for females.
Only if you win.
We'll be watching. We'll probably be watching that in the booth.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
So the Tide defense needs to stiffen here, John. We'll see what they come up with coming out of this timeout that they called.
Mags has got Pena with him again.
I will tell you, the delay of game coming out of a timeout is really not what you're looking for.
Wow. That's for sure.
That is.
Funny, I don't have mic up, but I can hear it.
That's. You know why coaches get gray hair. That's another reason. So it'd be 1st and 15. Again, double wideouts to either side with Pena and Mags in the backfield. Looking to throw again.
Yeah.
He's going to get hit and dropped for another loss.
Josiah Stewart.
Stewart was all over him. They lose 5 more. So it looked like a pretty good drive set up by Pena. Is now 2nd and 20. They flip it and they
boy,
run the
this is gonna work.
reverse.
Mags is looking for someone to block. 26 held.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
illegal block. It's going to cost them.
And it was so unnecessary.
Yeah, it's going to cost them.
There is a flag on the
Great call on that play. They had him right where they wanted him.
Yeah, that was well behind the play. I think it was Darion, but I'm not sure. I know he was looking for someone to block. Mags was looking for someone to block. I mean, that was a well-designed play.
Wow.
What a shame.
They give him to the 23. So give him 11 yards to the 23 and then penalize him back to the 33. So it's going to be 2nd down and 19.
2nd down and long.
Here comes the fullback. He ran over. Brandon Gibbs just got run over.
Great job at the point of attack, though, by the Bulldogs' offensive line.
Sammy Lamont on the tackle.
That's another double-digit run. That's 12 yards. 3rd down and 7.
3rd down and 7.
Fool me a couple of times, but every once in a while I'm gonna stop you.
Pena the ball carrier.
No gain on the play. So they've eaten up some time. We'll be under 5 minutes when they snap the football, but now it's
4th down.
4th down and 7.
4th down and 7.
You might want to give it to the fullback again.
Boy, that's a good play. That was a well-designed play and not a bad pass. We'll have to see this on the replay.
They put it right on the money.
Yeah. I mean, it was in that corner. I don't know if Sun came into play, but that was a good play. Take a look at Mags. Just put the ball up there, and McDonald can run right under this, and that ball hit him in the hands. That ball probably should have been caught.
Yeah, it looked like it went off his hand.
Tell you what, it was a very good throw by Mr. Mags.
Well, English didn't score, but they did what they virtually had to do: hold on to the ball, run some time, try to shrink the game, because they get the ball to start the second half. They couldn't give the ball right back to Everett after that touchdown and that drive. So Everett will try to make it 3 for 3 on drives and touchdowns.
COVID timeout, roughly about 6 minutes in that at the fourth quarter, every quarter.
Yeah.
Take a look at this play by Josiah Stewart. Maggs is going to be in the pocket, and he is going to be joined by Mr. Josiah Stewart. No chance to get rid of the ball there. That was a sack on this play on 1st and 15 from the Everett 29, loss of 5. Josiah Stewart is happy about it, and he should be.
I guess so. You mentioned those teams playing their last games in Northeastern Conference. They played 7 football games this year, Paul. They played close to a full season.
Swampscott versus Marblehead, both undefeated for the first time.
Yep. Quarterback keep.
That is a good call.
Sammy Lamont, the ball carrier.
Lamont looks like he's got a first down.
That's good for a Crimson Tide first down.
To the 33. Seeing a lot of double-digit rushes.
Plenty of time here for Everett, too, John. Still over 4 minutes to go in the half.
2 wideouts go to the far side. Now we got motion,
Yeah,
and too
that's-
much motion because Everett jumped. One of the linemen stood up. They move it back to the 28. So they've got a 1st and 15. Coming to the near side. They pile it up and push him for a few extra yards.
Jaden Cuervo on the carry. Joshua McDonald on the tackle.
So he got a little more than half of what he needed. It'll be 2nd and 7.
To keep again, straight ahead, gets it to the outside. He's got one man to beat, just got a piece of him.
Nice job there by Darion.
He's tackled by number 26.
Might have saved the touchdown.
Yeah.
That's good for another Crimson Tide first down.
Take a look here, Sammy. Direct snap, play action. He's going to keep it all the way. Looks like he's in a lot of traffic. Well, he's going to emerge from that traffic. Coming right at you, folks, on the left side. And a diving tackle by Darion gets him down at the 40.
Yeah, 19 yards. He went to the left and made a nice little cut back to the near side. Cuervo to the outside, gets about 5.
Cuervo, the ball carrier. DJ Brathwaite on the tackle.
They give him 5.
2nd down and 5.
2nd and 5, as we're under 3 minutes. English, if they want to stay in this, they can't give him this touchdown. They got to stiffen up. Looking to throw, they lob it over, wide open on the middle, down the middle. They're putting it at the 1 yard line.
Sammy Lamont's pass is complete to number 80, Marcus Scott.
First
Marcus
catch.
Scott, somebody lost him in the crowd.
He's brought down at the 1 yard line, 1st and goal for the Crimson Tide.
Lamoth had a love looking up and seeing how open Scott was,
Wow.
John.
Wow. Scott probably said, please let me catch this. Don't let me drop this. There's nobody within
Darion just
20
saved
yards of him.
Darion has saved 2 touchdowns on this drive.
Wow.
26. 1:48 and counting here
Wow.
in the second quarter. Now Everett's in no hurry. Now you want to take your time.
They go double wing from the 1. They're getting a sign from the sideline. Wait, wait,
And then run it in.
and then run it in.
Number 5, City Lamont.
Lamont, who had that big run of 19 to get him close. So they're going 72, they're going 78, now they go 79. 6 plays.
No problem there. Lamoth just straight ahead. Good job by the O-line. Escorts him in.
Almost half the drive on that one catch.
Kevin Ruiz is 0 for 1. Hit the post. Doesn't count as a shot on goal.
They get it down.
Ruiz
Kicked it wide right.
Ruiz is slumping here early in the season, clearly.
Wide right.
He was 5 for 6 in 2019.
What year is it? Sophomore. Oh, all right.
112 left. Everett has missed out the first time because they were stopped after getting a first down, but they've scored 3 straight possessions. 72, 78, 79. 17 plays, they've scored 3 touchdowns.
Certainly most of the damage being done on the ground both ways, John.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
the big play on that drive was the pass to Marcus Scott.
34 yards. You look up and you go, wait a minute. What's he doing way out there all by himself?
There's a kicker. I know what you're saying. That guy was a straight, so he kicked like 60-yard field. I think he played for Pittsburgh.
What a beautiful night for football, though, John. It's
Absolutely. The lights are on, but we don't need them.
After a miserable week of weather.
Ooh. Last
We
night
wouldn't
was-
want to be here 2 nights ago, John.
Last night was like Christmas in late December. They get back near the 20-yard line. I wouldn't think that English would do anything silly here.
Number 26, Darian Arias on the return. He's brought down by number
At
10.
the 20 is where they put it.
Well, they got 1:05. They have timeouts. Of course, the last thing you want to do is give it back.
That's for sure.
Because Everett has timeouts as well. They are in the shotgun. They are in the spread.
3 wideouts to the near side.
And that's going to tell you what Chris Carroll's thinking.
Angelo Person, the ball carrier.
Person gets to the 22.
I think Everett's going to be content to let them run it down here and take this 14-point lead into halftime.
2 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 8.
I would say into the locker room, but that's probably not the case.
Yeah, I would guess that this would be the last play of this first half, a productive one. After falling behind 6-0, they put 3 straight drives. They put 20 on the board. They're leading 20-6. Coming to the near side, falling forward. Stop the clock with a first down. Person, nice run.
Person, the ball carrier. That's good for a Bulldogs first down.
They put it at the 34. And guess what? That's another double-digit run. We've had a few of those.
That's going to do it.
Yeah, they'll just let the clock run. That'll do it. So English got on the board first, led 6-0. Everett puts 20 in a row. 3 straight drives, 72, 78, 79. And at halftime, here at Everett Memorial Stadium, it's Everett 20, Lynn English 6.
And the concession stands open, they just said. I thought it was closed.
Coach, first and
No,
foremost,
I walked by it.
congratulations. I know you've heard it
No.
so much in the past couple of months. What emotions are you experiencing as you get ready to coach your first game?
Yeah, tremendous amount of emotions. So proud of the players who have committed themselves to dedicating so much time and effort to get ready for this Fall 2 season. And on a personal note, I'm extremely proud and honored to be able to coach the Everett Crimson Tide in our first game tomorrow night of this abbreviated 2021 season.
You're inheriting a program that has a winning tradition, a lot of culture. You know this because you played and you coached here. How much pressure are you putting on yourself to continue that winning tradition?
Well, I put a tremendous on myself, so yeah, there's a lot of pressure that comes with the job. I'm trying to balance it and keep it fun and realize that the kids right now, this playing football is such an outlet for them, and it's allowed us to come together as a family, and it's allowed the kids to bond in person, which they haven't been able to do at school because of remote learning. So it's been going really good.
You mentioned the kids and you mentioned bonding, which I think is very important. And for you specifically, how tough was it to develop that chemistry with your players, knowing that you're a new head coach and it's a different season?
Yeah, so I knew a lot of the players because I've coached here for 2 years previously, and we worked out together over the summer. So I felt like we had a good foundation of a relationship, and I've just tried to be myself. I've tried not to be anybody else. To thine own self be true. Just be who I am and try to establish relationships and earn trust of the kids. And so far, I feel like we've taken a lot of positive steps in the right direction.
I know you said you wanted to keep it fun for these players. For the seniors specifically, what is it do you want for them this season?
I want them to be able to, in 20 years, look back and say, during a pandemic, we were able to put together a football season like none other. We've had to adapt on a daily basis. We've had to not be able to use locker rooms. We've had to stay socially distant. We've had to wear masks. And through all that, it's still just football, and it's an activity that we just stressed with them to have fun and to just be with each other. And this should be a time for them to let go of any problems they have, a time to de-stress, a time to just be kids and have fun. And it's sad that we have to use the word stress so much nowadays. But I think that's one thing about the pandemic that's let us all understand is that kids and adults alike need time and places for outlets. And let's hope that this is one of the real positive parts of our players' lives.
Shifting over to game time, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge on the football field this season?
Playing disciplined and sharp football. The kids had a gap of 16 months. So no team in the GBL has had a chance to get together at all. We just had footballs put on the field on April 1st. And so 16 months of not being able to do sports-specific drills has an impact on your performance. So we have to keep it simple, keep it basic, and stay disciplined. I think that's a big key to this. And stay positive, because it's not going to be smooth sailing every rep.
Looking over to Lynn English, what do you know about this football team?
Well, they haven't played in a long time either. I know they're very well coached, and I know what they've done in the past, in 2019. So we tried to put a game plan together based on their tendencies from their last season. But truth be told, tomorrow's a game where neither coach and neither team really knows what the other team's going to do because we don't have any film on each other, which in a way makes it fun.
My last question, I think one of the best kept secrets in all of Massachusetts high school football has been your quarterback situation.
Yeah.
So come game time, who's starting quarterback?
So Sammy Lamothe is going to start. He's a senior. He's a leader. And he's earned the spot. And he's never played football in his life at quarterback, at the position of quarterback. And but we feel like he's going to do a great job. We're excited to see him perform tomorrow night.
I know I said this is my last question. This is my last question now. Okay. Why Sammy?
He's a leader, and his skill set at the position has improved immensely since April 1st. And the team's rallied around him, and I think he's the best at the position. Gives us the best chance to win tomorrow night.
Coach, thank you so much for taking
You're
the time
welcome.
to speak to us.
Right.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
to Everett Memorial Stadium as we're getting set to start the second half. First half, it looked like English was doing pretty well. They had a kick off. They wound up kicking it off a lineman, picked up the loose ball, and they turned it into a touchdown. They took a 6-0 lead, and it looked pretty good. Everett came back, and they shut Everett down on interception on their first possession, but then Everett has scored 3 straight times. 2 in the second period, 1 in the first period. They put 20 straight points up, and we're getting ready. English will get the kick to start the second half. It's 20-6 as we start the half, and I'm sure that my younger counterpart with me has got some stats that you'd like to hear about.
Well, I'll tell you what, John, Everett's pretty balanced. 166 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. Lamont has only completed 2 passes, but for 61 yards, so 227 yards of offense for the Tide. English has moved the ball pretty well. 107 on the ground, 42 through the air, 149 yards. But after the first drive, they've kind of moved it between the 20s or the 30s. You know, they have not been able to get it in. But, you know, Everett did a good job. As you say, the game starts off, they can't handle the opening kickoff. Then English goes right down the field. Everett's first possession, they get intercepted. And really the key was, I think, stopping Everett on that, stopping English on that first possession after the interception when they were already down 6-0. So take a look at the coaching staff up on the roof, as James Taylor would say, high above Everett Stadium. You don't want to be up there in November, but beautiful night like tonight.
I didn't want to be up there last night either.
Yeah, no, it's been, with the weather here is awful. We know that, John.
Well, he only completed 2 passes in the first half, but both passes set up 2 touchdowns because one it was Zamora out wrestling the defensive back, taking it away, that set up a touchdown. And the other one, it looked like it was a touchdown. Marcus Scott, they just knocked him down at the 1-yard line. He was wide open for 34 yards, and that set up 2 small runs for Everett, but they're dominating at the line of scrimmage. They're running right through the English defensive line, and we've had, on both sides, we've had a lot of double-digit rushing yardage plays.
Yeah, for Everett, John, individually, Jaden Cuervo, who was their leading rusher when we last played in 2019. Jaden has 9 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown. And Sammy Lamoth from the quarterback position has only run 4 times, but 55 yards and a TD. And as we mentioned, he was 2 for 4 passing for 61 yards, as you said, John. 1 to Zamora and 1 to Scott. Zamora is really going to be a threat for this team. We know he can throw the ball as well because he did play some quarterback in 2019, but they're going to try to get the ball in his hands on the ground and through the air.
Here's Ruiz again using that right foot, and he line drives it just about the 15-yard line. And Person gets it out to about the 35. English will have decent field position, but they got to do something with it.
Since he was kicking, John, it's good that he used his foot, right? Because, like, if he used his elbow, it probably wouldn't have gone too far.
Yeah.
Just as a point of clarification.
I think half the people watching this live just turned it off.
No. You know what they're doing? Something I'm not. Eating popcorn. Thanks.
Yeah, well, you need more popcorn.
Hey, look, we all have jobs to do, and some of us do them and some don't.
Pass is complete.
A little broken tackle.
And they get out midfield, maybe inside Everett territory.
Pass is complete to number 11, DJ Brathwaite.
Brathwaite.
I've heard his name once before, John. That was a nice play by him, but also a missed tackle by the Tide.
He was a very good receiver the last time.
So just like that, John, the Bulldogs are in Everett territory. One play.
Another double-digit play, 16 yards. Now they're going to run backwards. Person gets hit in the backfield.
Marcus Scott on the tackle.
So they go from the Everett 49 to their own 49. They lose a couple.
And that's kind of what it's been, John. They have moved the ball. As we said, they have good stats, but it's kind of been a case of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and that was an example.
1 or 2 plays have cost them. A couple of sacks, a high snap. catches made.
Maggs has good arm strength, I can tell you that, John.
Maggs' pass complete to Brathwaite. Aroyave on the
They get to the 44.
Big play here.
7 yards on the play.
3rd down and 4.
3rd and 4. Maggs does that. He's just not even leaning into it, Paul.
He's just standing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he throws the ball pretty well.
Double wideouts to either side. I thought we'd come out with.
John, is he the son of the St. Mary's soccer player of a generation ago, Jesse Maggs? Remember him?
Yes, I do. I don't know if he is or not.
Oh, boy.
Hit. He was lucky he held on to the football.
Josiah Stewart, have a day.
Boy, wow.
Have a year.
Boy, Maggs is lucky to get up.
Take a look at Stewart coming from the backside here. There was I would say a missed block on the outside on the left, but that would indicate that it was an attempt at a block.
Oh, he was untouched.
Yeah, that's a. You see a fumble on that play, John, more often than not, because Maggs doesn't see him coming, obviously.
They need 10 on this play.
Yeah.
They short hop it. Everett does the job. Again, 1 or 2 plays turns the tide for the Crimson Tide. And they're going to get very good field position.
This guy, though, he is an impact player, John. This guy, Stewart, I'll tell you. I believe I heard at halftime you're talking he's heading to Coastal Carolina. Is that what I heard at halftime? Stewart? Of course, Isaiah Likely is having a very, very good career down there.
Once again, Everett takes over in good field position. Off the right side, banging forward, gets 8 or 9 yards, Baptiste.
Jawan on the tackle.
They put it at the 43.
2nd down and 2.
Coming to the near side, looking for a block, turn the corner.
Gotta be careful.
Gets loose, he's gone. They
No.
just got a piece of him and knocked him out.
Boy, this guy, Darien, is a hell of a defensive player. That's the 3rd touchdown he saved today.
Jacob Fisher.
Take a look at Zamora. Zamora is coming to the left, does a good job. He's looking for a block, gets one there on the outside, cuts it up, and it looks like he's gone. But Darien had the angle on him. You'll see coming in from the right side of your screen, gets him out of bounds at the 4.
39 yards. And listen to your stats, that puts him over 100 yards, I think.
No, he only had 19 in the first half, John. His big play was the catch.
I was thinking of Claveau.
His big play was the catch.
Yeah, I was thinking of Claveau. And here's Claveau off the right side.
Touchdown.
In for the touchdown.
Number 4, Jaden Cuervo.
Well, they still go 51 yards, but they only do it
I'll tell you what
in
they
3
have, John.
plays.
They have a major impact player on both sides of the football. Zamora on offense and Stewart on defense. Those guys are game breakers, and they have one on each side of the ball.
4 straight drives by Everett for scores. And it looks like they're going to go for 2 again because they missed the extra point.
Yeah, honestly, I think it was about 5. Yeah. I'll give it.
So they went 51 yards in 3 plays.
Yeah, I call it 5, Dave, because he met contact around the 2.
In the double wing.
4. Thank you, guys. The 2-point conversion is good.
28-6 as they come back upfield, and Everett defense set the tone with getting the stop, and you'll look at Tyrese Baptiste. He's just going to cut it back inside. Had just enough room to get in the end zone, and in the end zone he gets, and I would have to say the route is on.
4 straight scores. That's the shortest one. But again, English went for it on 4th down and gave him very good field position.
Let me know when he comes over. I want to see him. Yeah, I want to see him. Hey, there he is. Carlo. What's up, Carlo? Good. How are you?
And Ruiz will use that foot again.
Sun has almost set. Still out. The field is no sun on the field. Good kick.
At the 6-yard line. I guess it was a good kick. Oh, hello. Wrapped up shy of the 20-yard line. Maybe right at the 20-yard line.
Darion Green.
He's hit hard by number 6, Darian Green.
Wow.
Take a look at this. Oh, my goodness.
So English has it at their 20-yard line.
Again, that's a big part of that junior class.
Wow.
Mikey, what's up, man? On the mic. You know it, man. Just trying to fill up the stadium with a little bit of voice. You know what I mean? Is this Mike on radio?
They stay with those double wideouts to either side.
Mikey Saber still.
Motion now coming to the near side.
Yeah, that's the kid. Yeah.
Person with the carry gets stood up, but still gets about 5.
He gets reps too. He's like a slot receiver, number 19. That's cool.
Are you surprised we haven't seen Pena?
We have not seen him carry the ball this half, John.
He hasn't been out there.
And in the first half, I know you're wondering what he had for stats, so I'm going to tell you in a minute.
Catch by Brathwaite.
Did he hit the floor?
No, there's a catch. I think so, too. I think he caught it, yeah.
6 yards and a first down.
He caught it to me. I left my Crimson Tide guy. That was a nice picture, Chris. He's going to have to throw the quick stuff. He has no time.
He got squashed between
Incomplete.
2 receivers. McDonald. They made a sandwich out of McDonald between 2 defenders.
Pena had 6 carries for 58 yards in the first half,
Wow.
John. All in the second quarter, I might add. So I will
That's
add.
my fault. We're in the third now. That's how it might be. Hopefully my mic's not up.
2nd and 10 from the 31. We got a flag on the play. Illegal procedure against English.
Someone moved, but it's against English.
Here we go again, 1 or 2 plays.
Oh, I knew that voice.
Is all the difference in the game.
Yeah, Paul doesn't need a mic.
Now it's going to be 2nd and 15.
Sure, Mr. Avery will have good accommodations for us next Friday night, John, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The best. Rich Avery runs Manning Field.
Yeah, Frazier Field too. He's got his hands full now the next couple of weeks. And that was thrown out of play.
Yeah, great coverage by Baptiste. Nothing there whatsoever.
Baptiste on the coverage. Third down.
English did have some receivers run open, especially in the first quarter, but the coverage has been excellent since.
Yeah, they're just one-on-one denying the reception.
And of course, you know, Jesse Maggs doesn't want to hold it too
That's for
long
sure.
because he sees that flash number 1 of Josiah Stewart coming at him from all sides.
Another big play here that if they don't get it here, they'll have to kick from deep. Picked off at the 35-yard line, and he runs it in for a touchdown.
Crimson Tide.
Lamont. He throws and he catches.
Wow, he just stepped in front of that one, John, and there was nothing but field turf in front of him.
"35 yards on the return."
Take a look. Here's Maggs. He's going to get the snap. Looks to his right, throws downfield, and he is looking for number 10. But he got number 5.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Looking for Shea Palmer. He got Sammy Lamoth.
Ruiz looking for his first extra point. And he gets it.
The extra point is good by number 87, Kevin Ruiz.
So now English probably wishes they could have punted.
Score is Everett 35, Lynn English 6.
As Everett makes it 5 straight scores.
So, John, if he were looking for number 10 but got number 5, would we call that a reverse Woolworth? Showing my age, of course. Well, no. I mean, you probably were there when Woolworth started. I do remember it from when I was a little kid. 5 and 10, 5 and dime. I know all the guys watching with Freddie Merchant on live stream remember it, that's for sure.
All you people at home, you know, there's a mute button. I remember. There's a mute button on your at home on your TV.
Someone's going to have to give it to me.
We have to listen to all of this, but you don't
I keep
at home.
hitting it. I'm not.
Yeah, you don't.
I keep hitting the mute button, and I keep hearing you.
Yeah, I know.
That's what we call technological.
I wish I could do it and get rid of all your idiosyncrasies, all your.
My wife has one at home.
Funny stories.
Julie has a mute button at home, John, for me.
Yeah,
She could maybe let you use it on Fridays.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to, any slim hopes English had, John, that just puts them away. Look at that kid.
Look at this in the end zone.
Ruiz's kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback.
So English got a first down on the first play of this third period. They got a first down on the last drive, but then everything went south. They went backwards instead of forwards, and Everett has scored twice, once on the interception. So Lamont runs the offense, and then he plays a little defense besides. So from the 20, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dogs. They go to the double wing. The pitch, and they drop the ball.
Stripped it. Lamont stripped it. Lamont picked it up.
Fumble on the play.
Wow.
100% Sammy Lamont play. Person had the ball. Lamont just stripped it right. Watch it. Person gets the toss. Just watch number 5, Lamont.
They were lucky he didn't run the second
right
miscue
there.
for
He
a
just
touchdown.
takes it right out of his hands.
That was a great play.
At the 11-yard line.
Yeah, you almost picked it.
Great play. Sammy Lamont's having himself a day here.
So English lost 9 on the play, but they also lost the football. Everett will go to the double wing. When's the last time we saw that? An interception run back and then a fumble on the next play run back by the same guy. Little misdirection.
Some more of the ball carrier. DJ Brathwaite on the tackle.
They ran it to the short side. They didn't have a lot of room. Is there a flag on the play?
Yeah, offsides defense.
Yeah, offside.
Probably lined up.
I'd say so. I didn't
It's a blown throw.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, they probably should have been stopped, so he must have jumped.
So the ball was the 11.
Yeah.
Now they put it down at the 6. So 1st and 5 from the 6. They stay in that double wing. They give it to the fullback straight ahead. Right back at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Number 34, Joshine Rivera, the ball carrier.
Shashin Rivera got his head down trying to go straight ahead. And English stuffed it. So 2nd and 5 from the 6. He gained about 6 inches. My favorite spot, Paul, just in between yard markers.
This is the first meeting between these teams in 10 years. They played in the Division 1A playoffs in 2011. Everett 46, English nothing.
Levo, he got a little help from his friends. He goes in the end zone, I think. He's in.
Number 4, Jaden Cuervo. Yes, I believe that's free for Cuervo. So yeah, August, I believe, was at a prep school, like Simon said.
He was at a prep school, no. I think he's going somewhere. I just don't very much.
Paul, Everett has 2 first downs in this 6.5 minutes of this 3rd period, and they've got 3 touchdowns.
Kick good. Ruiz is back.
The extra point is good, and with 5:30 left in the 3rd quarter, the score, Everett 42, Lynn English 6. Come on, you probably weren't going to do it.
I don't know. Is there a clock run rule?
At 40 points in the 3rd quarter,
30 in the 4th. Okay, so we'll be running in the 4th.
Yeah, it should be a very quick 4th quarter.
So if he hit all his extra points, he could have been spinning the clock right now.
I never liked Ruiz anyway. I never liked their kicker anyway.
Actually, if he hit all, it would be right where we are because they made 2 2-point conversions.
Look at you look at Everett. They turned the ball over on the opening kickoff. They turned the ball over on an interception, and they've now scored 6
No, they
straight
made 2
times.
2-point conversions. It'd be 42, right where we are.
6 straight times they've scored, and we still have 5.5 left.
Although
in this 3rd quarter.
two safeties would make it a running clock.
They kick a ground ball, and they fall on it at the 31-yard line.
Kickoff recovered by number 10, Shea Palmer.
Palmer fell on it at the 31.
For the Bulldogs.
So, John, the English classical game you said is May 7th, 2
Yes.
weeks from tonight?
Yep. Thanksgiving in
Do
May.
you still have to eat turkey even though it's in May? Or
You could if you'd like.
I think we're back here. Where are we? Back here that night, right? From Medford? Is that right?
Yeah, if Medford is playing, I looked before. And they were supposed to do a couple of soccer games.
The way this has worked all year, John, as you know, you don't know until the day of.
Whoa, I mentioned Lynn Tech last week was supposed to play Greater Lawrence. Canceled. They were lucky he picked up Boston English. They were supposed to play Greater Lawrence in soccer on Monday. Canceled.
Yeah.
They were lucky that coach of classical and coach of tech are father-son, and they got together to play a game on Monday.
Well, that's what I said, John, and we dealt with it all winter. You know, that people have done a good job trying to get the kids games. You know,
Well, we
that's what you
talked
got to
about
do.
Bobblehead and Swampscott playing both undefeated. Swampscott's only played 3 games.
Yeah. Well, they were shut down for 2 weeks with COVID. Yeah.
And they shut down the English baseball program, too. Because Joe Caponigo, the baseball coach of Swampscott, was having workouts and stuff in Swampscott with the English baseball team. So lucky the baseball season wasn't in bloom at that time.
I'll remember that. That's right.
He was a former coach in English. At the 31 for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10. I swear now, English and classical will now be playing soccer and football with the GBL League. Everybody else will be playing baseball and softball.
I'll tell you, it'd be good for their girls' sports, John, English and classical.
Okay.
Center.
Six.
The linebacker's the same. It looks like the D-line is new. Okay. So just help me.
Little misdirection.
That's a new face.
Yep.
Not surprised. That is Cameron Isbell.
Cameron Isbell, the ball carrier.
He'll get a couple.
Brought down by number 6, Darian Green.
Starting to get hungry. I didn't have any popcorn.
Yeah, you look like you're fading away.
Well, I would say the Rob DiLoreto era is off to a good start, John. Good to have Coach DiLoreto back here in Everett. He did
Boy.
serve as a coordinator under Coach DiBiaso.
Couldn't ask for much
I
better.
remember all the way back when he was at Pope John, many, many moons ago.
Couldn't ask for much better.
He was at Reading for a while. His son was a great quarterback at Reading.
Angelo Person, the ball carrier. Number 70, Rashid Frederick on the
You
tackle.
get person a 38 for a pickup of 5.
Wilson's brother, right? Is Rashid Wilson's brother? Rashid Frederick? Yeah. He just made the tackle.
Well, it looks like a QB.
Yeah, he does.
So they need 3 for a first down. They stay in that double wing very tight. Coming to the near side. I would guess they'd go for this. They need a yard.
Person, the ball carrier. Tyler David on the tackle.
Under 4 left in this third period.
He's had a good game.
Fourth down and a yard.
Lynn,
They're not gonna-
Lynn Classical is playing tonight as well, John, correct?
Revere.
Now,
That's the
Everett's-
Northeastern Conference.
How many of your teams in the GBL? Is it just the 5 that are playing? Everett only has 4 games. I thought Malden was playing, though,
Yep.
no?
Yep. I don't know if Somerville was playing. Somerville bowed out for a short time during the basketball season.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
They came back for the playoffs. Fourth down and a yard. They pile him up, but he falls forward for a first
Got it,
down.
yeah.
Person, the ball carrier. Darian Green on the tackle. That's good for him.
He needed a yard. He got 2.
Darian's got to be about 215, 220. Close to it, right? 210?
JC's beginning.
Yeah, okay. JC's legs are like huge. But I saw Darian pregame. He was like, he's pretty well.
Staying in that tight double wing.
200 anyway. That's pretty big.
They reverse it.
26,
And that's Palmer, I believe.
It is.
Matthias, right?
Picked up 5 to the 47.
Shea Palmer, the ball carrier. David Matthias on the tackle.
Under 2 minutes when they snapped the football.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. Because I saw he's one of the guys that went out there.
The pitch cuts it up inside.
Number 37,
Nick Messina.
the ball carrier. Tyler David on the tackle.
They get into Everett territory at 49. A pickup of 4. So third down and a yard. They run to the near side for a first down.
Messina, the ball carrier.
Messina brought down by number 70, Rashid Frederick.
That's good for another Bulldogs first down.
Again, they needed a yard. They got 2.
So
under a minute.
Yeah, workman-like drive here for the Dogs. I think you're just gonna. What you're seeing now is what you're gonna see for the fourth quarter.
Palmer off the left side. Look at Russ. He gets it to the 41.
Palmer, the ball carrier. Gavin Moran
Pickup of 6.
on the tackle.
And depending how long they take,
They won't have to snap it.
no, they go into the sideline. They're going to let it run out, I believe.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score Everett 42. Lynn English 6.
42-6. We're 3/4 of the way through. Everett
Take this time to
has scored 6 straight times as they've touched the football.
Boston lead. Welcome, Lynn English.
One defensively with the pick by the quarterback Lamothe for a touchdown. He almost ran the next play a fumble in for a touchdown, but it gave him the ball down deep. The penalty against English, they got in and they're comfortably ahead, 42-6 with 12 minutes left, and we'll have the clock running in this fourth period, I believe.
It's a shame.
So the fourth quarter should go fairly quickly. But again, Paul, you look at this and you say, the kids are doing something they didn't think they would do. You talk to some of these kids and they say, we worked out and then we didn't get to play last year and everything shut down and hockey shut down, baseball, softball shut down. Now they're having an opportunity to get out there and now baseball and softball are going to have a state tournament.
Yeah.
So, you know, things
Yeah,
are,
everything's headed in the right direction.
yeah.
It's been a long 14 months, though, hasn't it?
Boy, it certainly has.
I'll tell you one thing I like. One thing I like tonight, John, and if I had one criticism of the last 2 years is I think Everett was pretty undisciplined on the penalty side of things.
Ooh, I guess.
Tonight, 3 penalties, and especially for a first time out, you know, ironically they had one on virtually the first play.
Yep.
But they've really cleaned it up, and that's kind of what I expected to see, and it's good to see.
Absolutely. Oh. Hit and dropped in the backfield.
Nick Messina, the ball carrier. He's tackled by number 27, Gavin Moran.
Everett's still trying to strip the ball.
And number 59, Rajiwa Norstan.
Everett using a lot of players now as well.
I'm right. I know.
So he got back to the line of
next
scrimmage,
week,
the 41 for no
John,
gain.
we go to Lynn, and of course, Lynn English grad Brian Vaughn coaching the Classical Rams,
Used to-
former Everett assistant coach.
He lived 2 houses down from me on Lexington Street.
Tom Smythe, the ball carrier.
Person, depending on the spot, he's got a first down or he's going to need a foot.
Brian was a very good player at Lynn English and Northeastern.
Oh, Northeastern, he was the leading scorer for Russia for years. They finally, I want to say somebody else on the North Shore broke his record. I don't know if it was a player from Revere.
No, Saugus.
Saugus. I knew it was
I
the North
believe.
Shore.
So 4th and less than a yard for the Dogs. I think you see maybe Mags lean forward.
And he
Yes,
does
will.
for a first down. And the clock will continue to run. He picked up 3.
Down by number 83, Giacobi Ward. Who else? And number 27, Gavin Moran.
English they ran out the last 5:29 of the third quarter, and we're going on another minute here, so 6.5 minute drive. There's the clock ticking downward.
They're going to get English for moving.
It only stops at timeouts. Okay, yeah. And injuries. Injury, okay, so we'll still.
Oh, is that Ricardo Francois? Big Rick. No, Ricardo Abraham, that's it.
So again, it's going to be 1st and 15.
Ricardo, they call Big Rick, right? He's Big Rick. Oh, I hope he makes
Ricardo Abraham is checked in for Everett, number 71. He would be the mountain on the defensive line you're looking at.
Off the right side. Diving ahead through the pile. Nick Messina.
He's going to get to the 33.
Picked up 6. We're already under 9 minutes in this fourth and final period. Everett easily going to 1-0. English will drop to 0-1. Palmer gets inside the 30.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. The well's deep over here.
Ball's right between the 29 and 28, John.
So we'll call it the 29.
Geez, I had already called it the 28, and I don't want to cross it out, so I'm going to keep it as the 28.
They don't get the 28 unless they get to the 28. And he hasn't got there yet.
The new ball carrier.
Palmer the ball carrier. Jaden Cuervo on the tackle.
It was Shea Palmer. I thought it was 12. It was 10. That should be a first down, right? Yeah.
Must be Edwin's brother. Edwin's Cuervo played here a couple years ago. Barry just checked out.
English plugging away. The offensive line has actually had a pretty good game, led by center Tyler Furlong, of course.
Personal ball carrier. 37. He just checked back out.
No problem with them running out of bounds at this juncture.
To the 17. Second and 4.
10 minutes this drive is right now and counting.
We'll be halfway through this fourth period when they snap the ball. And English just methodically running right at Everett. They got another first down inside the 10.
Palmer the ball carrier. Brendan Prevalon on the tackle.
Down to about the 9.
I go deep. Not just football.
This will be the 17th play of the drive. English has eaten up a lot of clock. They run it in for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Lynn English. Number 5, Angelo Person.
So we're going to call that drive 5:29 and 5:36, 11 minutes and 5 seconds. 1 quarter that drive was.
To go 69 yards.
You know what? That's a good question. That's 30 right now, isn't it? 30. I'll look to the
17 plays.
Keep eyes on it too. I would say it's not gonna. I think I think once it starts rolling, I think it's gonna roll.
And they'll go for 2.
Bye, girls. Yeah, see you Monday.
They come up short.
2-point conversion is no good. Tackled by number 27, Gavin Moran-Leal.
So English get on the board first. 6-0 Mags from the 2-yard line. Missed the conversion. That was after they recovered an onside kick, and then they got an interception, shut Everett down, but then Everett got the ball back. They went 72 yards in 6 plays, and it was Zamora going in from the 9. The kick was no good. It was tied at 6. Everett got it back to start the second period. They went 78 yards in 5 plays. It was Cuervo going in from the 3. Baptiste with the 2-point conversion was 14-6. They got the ball back. They went 79 yards in 6 plays. It was Lamoth going in from the 1. Kick was no good. It was 20-6 at halftime. They come out and they went 51 yards in 3 plays. It was Cuervo going in from the 4. The rush by Baptiste made it 28-6. Lamoth added to that. He picked off a pass, went 35 yards. The kick by Ruiz was good. It was 35-6. Lamoth came right back, almost did something that would be an ESPN highlight. He picked up the fumble. He looked like he was going to run it in, getting an interception and a fumble on back-to-back plays, but they knocked him down at the 11. A penalty brought it to the 6, and then Cuervo went in again from the 6. Ruiz's kick was good. It was 42-6, and then English just went on that 69-yard drive, 17 plays, and it was Angelo Person going in from the 9 to make it 42-12. And English kicks it off. Looked like a shortstop feeling that ground ball, and he almost broke it. He gets it back.
Kickoff return by number 9.
He almost ran that back for a touchdown.
Good scoop by Brian Gibbs there. Gets it over midfield.
They got it at the English 48-yard line.
So Everett will have to snap it, John, probably about 3 or 4 times, and we'll be on our way.
They got wideouts right and left. Do you think they'll get the football?
Gibbs on the carry. The quarterback is now Kamari Ellerby.
Down to the 41. Excuse me, 46. For a pickup of 2.
Second down and 8.
The quarterback is a big boy.
He put together, yes, you're right, John. As is Maggs, the English quarterback. He's a big, rugged kid.
Josh Delgazo, who's over there doing the public address, told us that he's a tight end when he's not the quarterback. And they think he might be the heir apparent to Lamoth. They take their time. And did they take too much time? It'll cost them 5. Back at the 49. Under 2 minutes and counting. They bang straight ahead. They get the 5 yards back from the penalty.
Gavin Moran Wheel, the ball carrier.
Everybody getting a chance.
Good start to the season, huh? Good start. Yeah, they started out a little rusty, but you expect it. No one's really in the football shape either. They'll get better every game. Yeah.
So Zamora, Cuervo, Lamoth leading the way. The offensive line doing a great job.
And don't forget Josiah Stewart on defense.
Oh, absolutely.
Lincoln Sudbury
Running to the near side.
can't wait to bust my buddies.
Number 17, Cam Muhammad, the ball carrier.
That is.
Oh, no, it's, if it gets to 44 feet in the first quarter or 34 feet in the
Picked up 5.
So, yeah. So, now that's official. Good stuff. Okay.
This is
Yeah, thank you.
If they run another play, this could be the last play.
I think it's going to be the last play either way, John, because even on a change of possession, the clock won't stop. So I'm deeming it the last play.
So Everett, they turned the ball over on the opening kick when they fumbled it. It bounced off a foot, and English recovered and scored. Their first real possession, they threw an interception.
Yeah.
As they bang into each other, and they run it inside the 35 to the 34, and that'll do it. After that interception by English, Everett scores 6.
Nice to meet you guys. Good job. You guys are real good.
6 straight touchdowns by Everett. Puts the game away for the Crimson Tide. And Everett gets their first win. English will have to wait till next week. And we'll see what happens next week. And we'll get right back against a Lynn team next week when Everett will take on Classical at Manning Field. And impressive start for Coach team.
Coach DiLoreto, good job. Welcome home.
Easy win. It looked like English was going to do some damage when they scored in the first possession and recovering the kick, going down scoring. After that interception, it was all Everett. They scored 6 straight times, and they win it going away. English got a late touchdown on a 17-play drive, but the game was over by then. And Everett wins it here at Everett Memorial Stadium, 42-12 over the English Bulldogs. We hope you enjoyed it. For Paul Howell, I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.